Women have largely been the bane of a lot of men's existence, and it is the downfall of some of the biggest kingdoms. You work your whole life, you build it up, and then you fumble it over a woman. All right? So, A, never deal, or I would never advocate for a man to marry a woman that is a single mother. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not an advocate for it. I think it is one of the dumbest moves that a guy can pull.
See, it don't really matter what you are a fan of or what you advocate for. It's really about what God says in his word. And I find it funny and diabolical for you to wear a shirt that says, follow God, not culture, only for the words that's coming out of your mouth, spoken from your heart, contradicts the shirt that you're wearing. If you really follow God, you will know his word says, he who without sin should cast the first stone. And that's in reference to Jesus saving a woman from judgment, from being stoned to death. And a lot of you men operate in that similar spirit. I call it the ungodly sassy man syndrome, ungodly sassiness, where a lot of you get this thirst and this craving to see a single mother struggle and suffer, as if single mothers don't deserve grace, love, redemption. And a lot of y'all, some of y'all men that operate this way, not all, but enough of you, you put on your referee shirt, your referee hat, and your whistle.
So today I just wanted to talk about single mothers and how they walk into church feeling alone with their children and they wonder if anybody sees them. I'm speaking up for women who carry more than just a diaper bag, car keys into a Sunday service. I've got flu by the way. I'm speaking about women that have a weight of being a mom and a dad, playing provider, protector, nurturer, and of course they also have to be the people that discipline their kids. And I'm also thinking about the problems they face, just praying over their children at night and wondering what type of children they'll raise one day. And what makes it harder is that it's not just about responsibilities, it's also about the silence and the looks and the unspoken judgment that they have to face from the people they're meeting at church or they're meeting at the schools or wherever they decide to go to. So I just wanted to address that and the truth of single parents, single mothers having to always be strong and resilient women whenever we meet up with them, and how they have to wake up every day and keep doing good and looking good. And it's never easy because end of the day, it's not enough. They still have questions to answer, like where their child father is, and they have to answer to the children as well when they feeling like, when the kids are feeling left out, when they're looking at other kids celebrating their Father's Day and they have nothing to show for it because their fathers are not there. And yet, when they walk into in the Lord's house, which would be the church, they stood there instead of walk into a place where they feel like they can let their hair down and just be human and feel like there won't be any judgment. But no, there'll still be people judging them in the church. So it's almost like, when do they get time to rest? Now that I'm older, I'm also seeing that a lot of the times I used to also judge those women because I used to feel that, why would you just walk away from your marriage? Well, I didn't judge that much because I understand from my own personal experience and people I've been friends with and how some of their parents are abusive and so forth. So I understood that. But at the same time, you're just human. So you still will find a way to judge. Because I judge sometimes like, well, how did you end up with that person? Why didn't you vet this person? Why did you sleep with this person before marriage? You see, maybe if you waited. But as I'm getting older and I'm starting to understand that majority of the times these women, the men they meet will put on a mask, and some guys are willing to put on that mask for 2 years. So some of the women that do end up being single mothers are not only the women that had, before marriage. It was also women that that were married, women that thought they did it all right, and perhaps maybe the only thing they did wrong was not wait on the answer, wait on God to, to say, yes, this person is the person you should marry, or no. Because I feel like that's that's what happens most of the times with those women, is that they didn't wait on God to say yes or no. But I wasn't just going to talk about that today. I'm just still highlighting on how women and men treat single mothers. And it's something that is starting to bother me, because I can see that it's become normal to judge people that, yes, made mistakes, but people that were also tricked into those mistakes. Because I also feel like they lack accountability. But now that I'm older, I understand that, you know what, maybe, just maybe, this is not only about accountability. This is just one of those things that these people were tricked. And I know this is just turning into a vent, and I'm just also bothered that when it comes to single mothers, it's almost like they're punching bags for the girls that are insecure. They're punching bags for those guys that used to perhaps like them and didn't end up with them. And now they think it's all right to bring them down because, having kids is another way of humbling a woman, as it seems. So this is just another way of me saying there's so many ways. Oh, and this person outside won't stop, so I had to keep it rolling. This is me just saying that it's important for us to just support. We're not losing anything. We don't have to judge, because we, just as much as we don't have kids, it doesn't mean that, you know, we are not messing up in some other places, whether that's a job or whatsoever. But nobody gets to judge, because the one thing people can judge is a child, because a child is something that is very visible. But I just wanted to deal with this, the biblical way, and, address it the biblical way, because I just feel like those men that judge women that are single parents, and as well as those women that judge women because they're single parents, are people that are Christians as well, and people that need to understand that they shouldn't be judging them, because they're also doing something or messing up somewhere in their lives. So I just wanted to add scripture to that. James 1:27 says, "Pure religion is to care for orphans and widows in their distress." That means stepping in, not stepping away. So I just wanted to use this scripture because it just highlights that if we believe in our religion, well, I don't want to put it under religion, I'm just going to say if we believe in grace, then we should be giving grace to people that have made mistakes. And people that haven't made mistakes, because some single women are people that lost their husbands. There's so many ways for people to be single. It's either they were being abused, they had to run. If it's not that, their husbands were cheating. If it's not that, then their husbands were not around, or married with the husbands in the house, and they pretty much still single because those husbands don't help them, or the husbands passed on. So, which would mean those wives then end up having, well, they end up being single, and so it's like they are like orphans in a way, because they need help and they need care. They need someone to care for them and give protection. And well, I'm still trying, yeah. The scripture explains itself. So I think it's important that everybody just tries to help. And it's something that I've also decided to look at myself as well, just personally, and say, how do I feel when I see single women that have kids? Sometimes I'm grateful because it's not me. Does this make me feel more righteous than them because it didn't happen to me? It's things like that I ask myself. And so I just thought I should put this out today, just to talk to people and say everybody needs to watch how they treat people. Just because somebody is a single parent, it doesn't mean that they have to be undermined, they have to be judged, and that we all need to mind our businesses and respect people when they tell us their personal stories on how they became single parents, and show love. So that's pretty much what this video is about. Just show love, mind your business. Like, just stop sticking your nose in other people's businesses and thinking you can judge them or humble them, because this is what I've been noticing. Even, I did post this video just a couple of months back in my old channel where I was talking about, and that channel is deleted now, gone. But in my old channel, I posted a video on single mothers versus woman with no kids. And I did feel the tension there, that as much as the girlies with no kids were celebrating that they don't have to stress, I did feel that they were rubbing it in their faces. As much as also the single moms were also, starting up something with them. Maybe it also came from a place where they felt judged and left behind because they were stuck with kids. And some mothers, of course, were happy because it's something they've always wanted and the people they married were taking care of them. But yeah, I just think women need to really, really start looking out for each other and just not do it on the TikTok spaces or YouTube and so forth. But we need to really bring that out in the real world and just look out for each other for real. Because when I was even posting that video, I did feel a little bit guilty. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is sort of like rubbing it in somebody's face that, oops, and you decided to become a mom and, you can't hop on this trend. But I definitely am at a place where I just want to respect women with kids, women with no kids, and and a woman like me who are just confused and just under God's grace, which is enough for everything, to be honest. But yeah, I'll leave this video here. Do what you want to do with the video and just spread positivity when you see a single mom. Hear her out and just support. If you know anything, if there's courses that you know about, just share, instead of feeling and thinking you might be better than them because you probably married and your husband takes care of you, or you don't have kids and you get to still wake up at any time and do you. So I'll just leave this video here, and that's all I have to say. Tot ziens.